welcome back to Not So Southern Gentlemen. I'm Ricky.
I'm Sean, and it's cold, and we are experiencing stuff that is unprecedented to 90% of most Arkansans. Right? I mean,
and you just glitched out. Awesome. That is awesome.
Are you serious?
No, you're amazing. No, you're back. You're back right now.
You never glitched out on my end. You never.
No, dude. You went robot and froze like a.
Oh, nope. Now I'm saying the internet is unstable on my end. I don't. Oh, well. Hey, as long as we're recording, we're going.
Well, maybe it's the snow because we have about 6 inches, and I spent the last, let's see, 2 days. I probably spent 4 or 5 hours on digging snow. So, well, after playing in the snow for a while, but
I'm lucky.
Yeah, there was work to be done.
I had a snow shovel. I'm the only one in my neighborhood with a snow shovel. I seen everybody else out doing their driveways with like spades and stuff.
Rakes.
Yeah, I'm using my old Utah skills. Like I've shoveled a bit of snow in my day. I know how to do this. I
knew it was coming up. He's going to break out the snowboard here in just a minute. Yeah, back whenever I was skiing up mountains and stuff.
I would have had all my snowboard gear, but it's up in Batesville. I would have loved to have had it, all my boots and my pants and all that. We could have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it would have been awesome. But anyway, we have so much more awesomeness. We made this change from Not So Southern Gentlemen to just WandaVision Central or something like that. I don't know.
I'm all for it.
It seems to be what is on my mind all the time right now. Like I'm always playing out. We have watched just episodes 5 and 6. I'm not
4 times.
Oh, more. We're probably sitting at the 6 to 8 mark. I mean, seriously, it's unreal because I'm always just like, all right, I'm bored. Do I want to watch a YouTube video? No, I'd rather watch it WandaVision. And I go back and rewatch episodes 5 and 6 or whatever. It's so good, man.
It's very good. And this weekly thing is killing me. God. Yeah. Why can't they just drop it?
Yeah. But before we jump into the, peas and carrots of the episode, we do believe if Reddit doesn't just make up fake memes like crazy, that the last 3 episodes should be 1 hour long. So, that makes me excited. Now, really, here's the question: will it be a 1 hour episode, or will it be like a 43-minute episode with 17 minutes of trailer, or outro credit?
Oh, it's gonna have 7 minutes of yeah. I mean, I know. You might as well knock it out. Yeah, it's 42 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. Yeah, but I am excited about more abilities. Just being able to see more stuff. Give me a little more stuff to gnaw on throughout the week. But the Halloween special, Halloween Spooktacular episode. Let's go for it, dude. We were all wondering about Quicksilver, and
we're still wondering about Quicksilver.
Well, here's what I want. Here's the way I was wondering if you want to tackle the episode like this. Let's talk about the Quicksilver stuff. Then we can talk about Speed and Wiccan, and then we can talk about Vision's, where what he was doing and stuff, and we can talk about the sword event. So if we break it down by pieces, I think we can cover everything and not really step over too much and get sidetracked like we normally do. What's your take on Quicksilver post this episode? Your hot take. Let's hear it. Hot take Quicksilver.
2 things. 1, either it is Quicksilver and he's being manipulated. 2, it's not Quicksilver. I'm not going to say Mephisto because I own 2 copies of Silver Surfer #3, but it might be Mephisto. I don't know. No, so he knows too much,
but he
about
doesn't
what's
know
going
enough.
on.
But he doesn't know enough.
Exactly.
He's probing.
Like he may be a pawn as well as Wanda is, but they played it. I think they played it just right. They're keeping you guessing, and I think that's on purpose.
Because here's the deal: she's like, "So what about blah blah blah?" And he's like, "Oh, you're probing me." for info. But he never answers that. He never answers. He just acknowledges, hey, you're
Yeah,
probing me
but I
for
mean, it was a
info.
small
I'm just
question.
saying. I'm just saying he didn't answer her thing. He acknowledged that she was probing for information, and then they sat down, and he was really, inquisitive about. So how'd you do this? Like, I'm wondering if he wants to know that she's
Yeah, and that's
being
the thing. That's
manipulated
what's
by
got
somebody
everybody
else.
jumping on the Mephisto train, is that he is probing her to get info about things that she doesn't even know how like he just literally addresses, oh, I'm just here to play this role in this episode. I'm here to where how did you manage the kids beforehand? Were they just sleeping? Or he just full on just comes out and talks about everything going on.
Yeah.
And that does seem like, okay, this is a separate player than what's going on. But also, he could be, I mean, he has his face and she doesn't know who he is. We do. I mean, but it's in the show, context of the show. And that could be completely meta on another level, just messing with us in the context of the show, which it probably is. But
I told Michelle that maybe only Mephisto could take the form of a living Quicksilver.
Well, like I said, I don't, even though I would love for it to be Mephisto, even though I'd love for it to be Mephisto, I'm not so sure. I'm really not. That I think Multiverse of Madness and everything going on that we know of, and this is
okay.
I don't know. I don't have a solid take on
that. So let's take this. Let's say no Mephisto. And let's stick with the premise that it is not dead Quicksilver. What about a Kree? Could
see, that's where, okay, so you're getting into my part of this discussion.
I know. That's the reason I wanted to let's hear it.
From the very get-go of this show, we have hexagons are important.
Yep.
We've already mentioned Captain Marvel twice. Monica Rambeau is tied to that movie. Jimmy Woo writes scrolls on the board for absolutely no reason. Like,
only because
why would Jimmy Woo know about scrolls other than Monica Rambeau?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, this movie is being tied to Captain Marvel in some fashion. Hexagons are Kree culture. I mean, they're in the entire fabric of the design of the Kree for the MCU movies. The people who design these movies and design that culture are making the show.
Right.
The Kree mind wiped and were mind manipulating Captain Marvel.
Right.
Wanda doesn't have memory of what happened to her and feels like she's being manipulated.
Okay.
And Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau are all tied into this. It's going Kree. I don't know. I can't think of any Kree that we haven't already addressed or used. Like Yon-Rogg was, what's his face, Dumbledore Pants in the movie. And then there was the guys, Ronan the Accuser's already been used. The Supreme Intelligence. I don't know. Maybe it's the Supreme Intelligence. Maybe we get to see a big fat green head in a jar at the end of this show, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
That would definitely be a Luke Skywalker.
But it feels like the Kree have something to do with this. I think it's aliens because, and once again, Sword is the alien off-world defense force for.
I was gonna say
it's all coming up Kree to me.
Yeah. So do you think Wiccan and Speed are real then?
I think it's irrelevant. Wiccan and Speed
really
are going to be real. Now, whether they are shards of Mephisto's soul,
right,
and they tie it in that way, I wouldn't be surprised, being how Kevin Feige's behind all this and the things they've done in the past. If they work it in, that'd be amazing.
So
but
probably
regardless of
future Young Avengers right there.
Yeah. Moving forward, I mean, we're already getting notes of Young Avengers. I mean, these
Yeah.
two are the foundation. Then we've already got Kate Bishop is coming in as a series. We got a trailer for, which I watched again yesterday,
Yeah.
and I really like.
Yes.
There are hints that Stature is going to be part of the next Ant-Man movie. I mean,
Right.
the Young Avengers is coming together, and Wiccan and Speed are already here. Yeah, they're going to be characters moving forward.
All right. Monica definitely becoming Photon.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. They planted the
Absolutely.
seeds for that early in another episode, and this one they just damn near confirmed it. And then
Yeah.
we have seen there was a promotional poster that was out where it was the TVs, you know, that show the different time frames of the character on different parts
Right.
of their bodies. But she was wearing one of her Photon uniforms. Like nobody caught it until somebody posted it one time and go, "Hey, look at the." I mean, she's wearing, what is she wearing? And they put up a
Yeah.
picture side by side. It's like, oh, yeah,
Wearing Photon.
duh.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, she's in her uniform.
Okay, so Vision is obviously no longer playing along. I mean, he basically called her out right at the beginning
Right,
of the
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
You know, she's like, "You're not supposed to." I'm not supposed to what? You know, like I mean, we went back
They
and
were the
he-
only clothes in
he's-
my closet.
Yeah, and he says that with like a lot of disdain in his voice. Like he is not pleased, and he's very open about. I'm gonna keep playing along. You know, we're going out neighborhood watch and all this stuff and playing along. But he is
I
definitely
like the finger guns there.
he has definitely laid down the law on, you know, Wanda, be good. You know, so let's say in outside of this realm, you know, Vision's just a bunch of wires and a torso that was been dismantled by Sword. How do you think he's able to do all this? How is he able to?
Okay, so two things with this. Number one, Vision is real. Vision is
Yeah.
absolutely real. It is the Vision. Now, how that's happened is up for debate, and I hope will be resolved. I don't think, I'm going to make the call right now. I don't think Vision makes it out of this series.
I don't.
I think there's a sacrifice. I'm going to call it right now. You can hold me to it, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you, and I'm very sad about it.
it looks like. Well, let's talk about a couple of things. Number one, Wanda's powers. Her powers were activated by the Mind Stone, but her powers are Reality Stone based. She changes reality, but she also has part of the mind with her telepathy.
Right.
Just like Captain Marvel got hers from the Tesseract, but she glows. Yeah, no, yellow. Which
I mean, she goes Super Saiyan, so yellowish when she's when she's binary or whatever.
So I mean, it looks like they could take on different but like anyway, Wanda is literally changing reality. I mean, anytime her hexes are red, like the power of the Reality Stone, her field, her magic, anytime she uses it, it is reality changing red stone. So I mean, that's just there. So she is changed Vision, and I think she's reconstituted the Mind Stone. Where whenever Thanos snapped and turned them to atoms, however her magic works, her powers work, she brought all those atoms back together, which also brought, you know, part of Vision back.
Yeah.
Whenever she put the body back together and whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll see all that, because I mean, we've got shots in the promotional material that where she's coming into where they have his body, but it's not the ones we've already seen. And I think we'll see a scene where the replay of all that, she takes his body, she ends up in Westview, she's crying over his body, her power activates, and boom, here we are.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to see the way that people are treated on the outskirts of town, man. I've heard multiple people, and Michelle and I even commented, I felt bad for the lady putting up the decorations, you know? I mean, she's just stuck kind of in the last thing that Wanda kind of told her, or any of them told them to do, you know?
Well, that's what that entire commercial was about. I mean, the animated commercial from the 90s.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
Yo
those
Magic, dude.
people are dying.
Yeah.
Like those people are literally dying.
Yeah. Yo
Because they
Magic
can't do
commercial
anything.
is definitely pretty dark. That is a dark commercial.
Yeah, and if you notice in the commercial, I watched a video and somebody brought this up. Like, so these are literal days in WandaVision.
Wanda's life. Yeah.
Yeah, like so this is the
Oh, yeah.
What are they on? Like the third or fourth day? We've got the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Was this last one the 90s? Malcolm in the Middle was the 90s. Yeah. So we're 5 days in. Like the commercial that showed went 8 days. The sun rose and set 8 days and the kid was dead.
Okay.
So I think it'll play out that way. So they got to hurry up and help because Vision coming out of that, screaming, help the people.
Yeah.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And and somebody was saying they think that he was being, the magic was wearing off and he was becoming what he was. Like,
yeah.
I don't think so. I think
that's almost the way I felt.
He was being pulled apart.
Yeah, I think he was. I thought he was going back to whatever he was on the table there at Sword before.
No, I think what she did to the whatever she did to the Hex was literally ripping him apart. He was fighting against it the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't think that he's just like before she did that. I think he could have walked out of it just like Monica did.
Yeah. So then we'll go with the Sword agents and all that. First, it's pretty awesome. Wu and Monica and Darcy all get kicked out of the club because they don't agree with Hayward, who has obviously revealed himself as the 100% dick of the Sword group. I don't know what's your take on him. You had your own idea on him that he could be Kree as well, right?
Yeah, he may be a Kree. Like they mentioned in Spider-Man: Far From Home, he may be part of a Kree sleeper cell.
I was wondering,
which is where I would go with that if the Kree thing plays out. Yeah, it kind of shows.
Sword gets Hydra.
Yeah.
I agree.
And on top of that, Wanda's sanity and Hayward's control kind of mirror each other. Like they're both kind of losing it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a neat way to tell a story.
Bets on Darcy becoming a waitress at a cafe.
I would love it, dude.
It's gonna happen. Darcy will
more
be a waitress
Kat Dennings as a waitress, and what did Hayward say? The cheeky best friend or
whatever he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of you is the laughing best friend? Yeah, that's so good, man. Once again, Wu is amazing. Wu with the takedowns of the Sword agents, man, out of nowhere. Loved it.
Yeah, Logan was like, "What?" I'm like, "Hey, he's a trained FBI agent, dude. I mean, come on." And they don't just show up and not do anything. He made it through.
I loved it. I love Wu.
Plus, he's got the up close magic. He could.
Yeah, I'm ready for MCU X-Files with Jimmy Woo, man.
Oh my God! And so, did you know? And I had to explain to Logan. Did you know that Jimmy Woo is a pre-Marvel character?
Are you serious?
Jimmy Woo's first appearance was 1956, the Yellow Claw, Atlas Comics.
Wow.
He is a pre-Marvel character, pre-Fantastic Four. That is awesome, dude. I was like, what? Oh, I love it. Just cool. Like, some some of the neatest stuff, like I'm never going to collect it, but like Patsy Walker, Hellcat, out of the Jessica Jones series, she was a pre-Marvel character, Timely or Atlas comic. And awesome. I love how they go that far back,
Yeah. So let's say who's her space engineer friend?
I don't think it's anybody people have guessed.
So the guesses that we have: Reed Richards,
no.
Hank McCoy,
no.
John Jonah Jameson III.
I haven't heard that one, but he's an astronaut. He's not an astrophysicist.
Astronauts usually have degrees in something before they become astronauts. I'm not aware of what his degree is. It was just an idea I'd seen tossed around. So,
well, I mean, I think we're looking at more sciencey guys than
right.
than
Yeah, of course.
like
Okay.
Reed Richards is a good one, but I mean, he's way too super smart, and he wouldn't be meeting somebody in the middle of the field for a truck.
Yeah, Reed Richards ain't gonna be sneaking around. He's gonna walk in and own the place.
Right.
You had heard another option that you thought was way more viable, right?
Not that I can think of. I may have said something off the cuff a while back, but nothing's really sticking with me on this one.
Okay.
I'm really excited for the reveal though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there'd be this much buildup for somebody that's just some side character.
I don't know, man. They may be building us up, and then you're going to feel let down by the side character, and you're going to be like, man, that was a lot of buildup for a letdown. And then the next episode, they just punch you in the face real quick. Just, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. It's a good one.
No, I mean, it's nobody like, so it won't be anybody from one of the series they announced. Like Oscar Isaac isn't going to show up because, I mean, Moon Knight's not, that kind of thing. And
no,
Jennifer Walters isn't, and none of the Netflix guys were like that at all. And I mean, if they said, "Oh, I know a lawyer guy," then I'd be super excited.
No.
But,
yeah,
I ain't got nothing.
I know some people had said Bruce would be one, but he's not a space guy. He's a gamma radiation guy.
Well, no, that would fit. I mean, that would fit because radiation. I mean, that's what they're dealing with. He could design. I mean, I don't know how he is on metallurgy, but I mean, he's the world leading expert on gamma radiation, which I mean, about other forms of radiation.
So he would know about CMBR. He would know about CMBR.
Oh yeah. And on top of that, he is going to be in the She-Hulk series. Like he's going to show up because I mean that's.
So what about Bruce?
I think you've stumbled on a good one. It could be Bruce Banner.
Well, that would be.
We could be seeing some Mark Ruffalo.
I would love that. I would love it. Absolutely. Do we have any other Wanda stuff? Because I'm really thinking, because there's stuff that I know that when the episode's over, I'm gonna be like, man, why didn't we talk about that?
So I have a secret wish that last part of this episode was Wanda expanding the Hex. Mm-hmm. They've said this is based on House of M. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is the be all end all for mutants, but the end of this series, which ties into Multiverse of Madness, could be Wanda expanding the Hex to the entire Earth.
Yeah, and then everybody becomes mutants.
I mean, she changes something. I mean, it doesn't have to be mutants, but she breaks something. I don't know. I don't know how any of that plays out. I'm just saying we get to Multiverse of Madness somehow, and it involves Wanda.
You want a meme of the aliens guy, except it just says mutants. Wanda. Mutants.
Here, hold on. We'll do it. Here, hold on.
Wanda and mutants. Yeah.
We'll cap that.
I'll do that. I'll cap that and write the words Wanda.
Yep, it's right there. Right there. This is it.
Mutants. Wanda and mutants.
Okay.
Yep. You got it. Some Wanda and
mutants. All right. So, Sean, let me ask your thoughts about this. You're the Man of Steel guy. You're the expert here. That new Zack Snyder Justice League trailer. What's your feelings?
Look, I wanna like it. I do, but I don't have enough confidence. I thought Darkseid looked good. I definitely think Steppenwolf looks better.
I actually really smirked at the Joker. I was like,
why?
Better. Better. I like it. I don't.
I don't like it.
All right. I'll match you. We'll have to both watch it the same weekend.
Oh
and then
yeah,
we'll
yeah, we
do it.
will.
But
We will.
I mean, I
I'll
don't think
find a
he'll be
way.
a big player in it, but I did like it. I liked
No,
it a
just
lot better than his
he's
look
probably
from
the throwaway
Suicide Squad.
character. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I did see that there were some stills out of the James Gunn Suicide Squad, and it looked fun. Some character shots of everybody in costume. I seen that, and it looked good. I want to like Justice League. I think this looks like a more polished version. I think, they gave the guy $70 million. They gave him another movie, and he was already made the movie the first time. And then Joss went and did what he did. And then Zach just said, no, let me double up on it and double down with $70 more million. So who's to say we could get in there, more than likely we're going to feel like it's a completely different movie. So
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm all for it, let's see what we can do. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I thought the new trailer showed off what they've done well. I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, I've already got everything. I'm going to be watching it for free anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, to see a better version of something that, I just was okay. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll cheer that on. I mean, plus, I'm excited for any fan. There's tons of DC fans out there. And Marvel, we're getting tons of Marvel stuff. That's fine. DC needs a win. I want them to have a win. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a win because, you're usually only as good as your last outing. That goes in sports a lot.
That goes in a lot of things.
And your
what have you done for me lately? Yeah.
Your last outing was Wonder Woman 84.
Ugh.
So you gotta Zach's gotta step up to the plate. It puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on him. So I like Zack Snyder. I've always liked his movies. They've always been pretty fun for me. Zack Snyder kind of, and I don't mean this in a straight side-by-side comparison, but I know what I'm expecting when I go into a Zack Snyder film, the way I know what to expect when I go into a Michael Bay film. I know the feel, I know the tone. There's certain Zach things that are done where you're like, yeah, that's very Zach. Just like, honestly, when you watch a Joss Whedon film, you're like, that's so Joss. So I'm excited.
Right, and it works and it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, like whenever you, like your Michael Bay, of course. I mean, you love a bad boy film, and then you put that, you overlay Transformers on that, and it doesn't really work.
Right. So let's see what a Zach full-on film looks like with the Justice League.
Hopefully it looks a little like Watchmen.
I hope he pulls it off. Wouldn't that be nice?
I really liked Watchmen.
I really liked Watchmen too. I really enjoyed it.
So I wanted to pose a question here, and first of all, my first part of the question isn't on the screen. So Sean,
okay. Yes,
what is in anything you collect? What is your current holy grail? What are you? If you had unlimited money right now, the first thing you would buy. This is it.
Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Amazing Fantasy 15. Okay.
I mean, yeah. Spider-Man.
People, I mean, it happens. People find it. I've seen 2 people on Reddit in the past month that had not an Amazing Fantasy 15, but ran into Golden Age hauls.
Yeah.
Where somebody is throwing junk away from Grandpa's trunk, or somebody brought something to a comic store and it's like 10-cent stuff that nobody's ever seen in this good a condition.
Right.
It happens. You're going to see a story where somebody finds or gets an Amazing Fantasy 15. It could be you. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, that's a good example of exactly what I'm talking about. And you're always on the hunt. I mean, you're going to look for an amazing, when you see a 10-cent comic or you see that big A, out of the corner of your eye,
Well, the best place, the places that get me excited is when I walk into, the antique store and there's one box of comics. Oh, that thing's been around here for years. I want to look through that. That's what I want to look through. Why is it not sold in years? Why is it sitting behind the counter? Why was it under this, maybe they don't know what they have. Those are the ones that get me excited. But the thing is those are getting so hard to find. You know this. There are several really nice antiques malls right by my house, and you and I have scavenged them a couple of times. The problem is Antiques Roadshow, American Pickers, shows like that, and then the rise of comic books, people overestimate what their values are or what they have, and they're very amateur jumping into something that a lot of us have known about for years. And if you go in, was you with me the day that we tried to talk down that guy on that Flash comic that he had like $400 on?
Which one was it?
It was the one where he's on the wanted poster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But if you look it up, seriously, in like good condition, great condition, that's like a $40 or $50 comic. Maybe you wasn't with me. I forget. Somebody else may have. And all I did was mention, hey, the last time this thing sold on eBay, it was like $44. And he just got instantly defensive and mad. And that's the bad part about grail hunting nowadays is you can't just go and find the person that, I don't know. In your head, you play it out like you want to find this hidden box of comics that the old lady didn't know she had, and it's full of Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man #1,
Captain
Action
America
Comics #1, all these crazy things. And she's like so appreciative. Oh, I didn't know I had all these. You can take them all for this amount of money. Thanks for and that's the way you play it out in your head, when nowadays that ain't how it plays out in real life. Pretty much everybody knows they have something.
Right. I mean, the best. So people ask me, I'm no expert on comic collecting at all, but I mean,
you do a good bit.
Got the best way. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've had a Grail collection haul in my lifetime, in 45 years.
Recently.
But
recently,
yeah, but I mean, that's after. You got to understand, if you're looking at comic collecting as a hobby or a profession or whatever, it takes, like, I've basically been hard and heavy on the collecting part for probably the past 5 years, and that's word of mouth, knowing the right people, being at the right place at the right time, having said something, having left a card or a phone number with the right person at the right time. And I mean, that takes time. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a guy who stumbled into a collection that he's like, oh yeah, I know something about this, and ends up with an Amazing Fantasy 15 and an X-Men #1, just because he was at the right place at the right time. But I mean, if you're somebody who looks for this kind of thing, you're always on the move. You're always, talking to people who have something that's okay, and they don't know what it is, or, and you see it and it's like 3 copies of, a Spider-Man comic from 1999 that's worth $1.
Yeah.
That they've got $10 on each. I mean, that happens more often than not.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're constantly hitting it, you're constantly checking, and you're constantly talking to people, if you're passionate about it, it'll happen for you. And you may go 6-8 months without any pickups whatsoever. You may not, everything may be just stagnant in your area. And that's just because that's the way things are at the time. During the winter time, business is slower. And, people don't want to get out. People don't want to dig through stuff in storage sheds. And it just takes time.
Yeah.
But so if you're in the game long enough, you make a score like a 100-piece comic collection, and it has, that Amazing Spider-Man 300 and that first, Deadpool's in it, and it's in great condition because it was packed at the back, in the middle. And, that's just constantly hitting it, constantly being aware of it.
Yeah. Did you ever get a response back from the guy I sent you the link to?
No, I haven't.
Man, that's
I think
sad.
that's a dead one. Yeah.
Oh, dead link. Man, that sucks.
But my whole point about asking that question
yeah.
is, have you gotten to a point where you're like, and you've done this with Pops, I know, but like where you're like, is there still anything in this for me? Do I need to sell some of this stuff?
I
Where am I
purged
at? Where am I at in
I
my
purged my
collecting?
Pops because I ran out of room.
Right.
Right. I mean, I literally ran out of room. I had them up to my ceiling in my bedroom. I literally,
Right, but I mean, you can
that's the reason I did that
that
major
was a
purge.
point for you where you're like, okay, you
Yeah.
didn't go, well, I could put some in the attic. I could make room somewhere else.
Yeah, I
I could
didn't
blah
do
blah
that.
blah.
No.
You're like, no, this is ridiculous. Here we go.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
gonna weed this down.
I
No.
don't know if I'll ever feel that way about my comics. There are times like just recently, I mean, 2020, I probably didn't buy a single comic in 2020. I'm not a, maybe an eBay copy or my comic shop here or there. But I'm trying to think. There were probably 0 cons in 2020, and that's usually when I buy comics.
Right.
So I probably did not purchase any in 2020. And just recently, and honestly, thanks to WandaVision, it's what's made me start researching comics again and finding storylines that I didn't know about and finding comics that I wanted to read. And so now I'm back. I'm back on the hunt. I'm back sniffing around looking for other stuff. So yeah,
See, but here's
I think it has
one
an
thing
ebb
that
and flow for me.
here's one thing that I've never been good on. I'm not good on speculator comics, and I know these videos are out there everywhere.
Yeah,
I can't. I mean, even WandaVision, the Vision and Wanda miniseries, which was a trash series that nobody bought. Nobody bought it. You could find it in dollar bins everywhere. They were lousy with them in dollar books. And then suddenly this happens, and now I wish I had the collection if I'd have just thought. I just still I can't do speculator comics. I just can't. I watch the videos and it's kind of cool. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing on anybody who does that, who enjoys, oh, this may be the next big thing. Look at this, and dug this story up, and this could tie into, the next She-Hulk line or something like that. And that's great, don't get me wrong. I just I can't chase after that stuff. I need something deeper.
Yeah. Well, we'll say this, since we're talking actual stuff collections, I will jump. I actually have some haul, and one of them actually has a really cool story. Like I said, I was on a WandaVision kick. Picked up Doctor Strange Damnation *1. Doctor Strange 170, second appearance of Nightmare.
Nice. What's the first appearance?
Strange Tales 110.
110.
Yeah, the first appearance of Doctor Strange and Nightmare are the same episode, or the same episode, the same issue.
Same episode.
So yeah. But hey, I will say this, out of my dad's collection, here's Strange Tales 111. Second appearance of Doctor Strange and first appearance of Baron Mordo. So
Baron Mordo.
I said Mordo. And then, but I did pick up Doctor Strange 75. Now, I get this. I did not know. I found the reason I found this is because I was looking for wallpapers for my computer, and I had Doctor Strange, and one of them showed this cutout of Doctor Strange talking to Mephisto, and I was like, I want to know what comic that's from. That is some pretty cool artwork. And it turns out it's from Doctor Strange 75, which when I get this, I find out.
Now, wait a minute. Did you say you paid $3 for this?
I paid $6.
$6 for this. Yeah.
$6. And when I open it, two stories out of this. One, there's these scribbles here. And I'm like, wait, why do I have scribbles? Wait, that's a signature. Oh, wait, there's a certificate of authenticity because this is signed by Jim Shooter. I'm like, okay, so I got a certificate of authenticity signed by Jim Shooter for $6 plus some shipping. But here's the coolest part, Ricky, that I didn't talk to you about. This issue, when I sat down and read it, is an issue that you have told me about multiple times, and I have
have?
wanted to read it because in this episode, Mephisto thinks it's a good idea to pick on Franklin Richards.
Oh, is that the one?
And Franklin Richards looks at Mephisto and goes, "No." And Mephisto can't move. And then he tells him, "You're not a nice guy." And he disappears.
Oh, that's the one. I need that. That is a good book.
This is a
speculator book right now because that could tie into WandaVision. You might get Mephisto disintegrated.
Yeah, this is the reason I got this book, is because the Mephisto tie-in. But then when I read it and I realized it was the Franklin Richards story that you have told me about for so long, I was even more excited that I got it. And yeah, it is great. I friggin' loved it. I'm very excited about it, and I was excited to have Local Haul. And like I said, it took me digging on the WandaVision stuff to start looking up some Doctor Strange storylines that I thought might tie into future. Yeah, I was doing a little speculating. I was doing
well,
now
that you've said that, now I need that comic. Now I'm on my comic shop right now. I think I'm gonna add it to my list.
There you go. By the way, mine was signed by Jim Shooter.
Yeah, I got you. So my earliest Strange Tales is just number 115, the origin of Doctor Strange. So.
Nice. That's one I want, though. That's one I want. This 111, I need to send that off. It is in really rough shape. My dad wrote, there's an R with a pencil on it and the number 54 in pencil written on it. I have no idea. Do you think if I had somebody look at this, is pencil considered restoration if they erase it and it's done by a professional person? Like, I know some restoration can be done to certain things and it isn't considered restoration until it gets to a certain level and all that. What's your take on pencil? I ain't gonna touch it. But if I send this in, I did see that
there is a special eraser.
CGC has cleaning and pressing, and you can request cleaning and pressing. And I thought about doing that if I sent that in. But yeah, that's all I've got. I actually got some Local Haul, and I thought it was cool. Finally had something to talk about, and I finally got to read the story where you had told me. But if you got nothing else, I will tell you about another documentary that I watched.
Okay.
I watched Netflix's new documentary, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. And it's awesome. Anybody that, obviously I think the last time I talked about a documentary, it was a true crime. This one is fully covers and in depth covers the Cecil Hotel itself and the vanishing and disappearance of Elisa Lam. And what eventually happened to her and how that all came down. And by the end of the documentary, I think everybody lays down what they believe happened, and it's a very sad story. It's a very tragic story. There's the internet has always been a crazy place, and this documentary not only covers where the internet helps, but the internet does some bad stuff in this one too. And they do not help everybody. They cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. The police, they cause problems for. Imagine this. In the documentary, it covers how the internet likes to figure things out. And then once they figured it out, they just attack. And they attack the wrong person. And it has some really sad consequences. But the Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel Netflix documentary, covering everything from the history and, how serial killers like to stay at that hotel, how it's on Skid Row, and literally it was a place where the homeless people could save up a couple of bucks and stay there for quite a while. And then you hear stories from people that have stayed there, and like I said, full in-depth breakdown of Elisa Lam and the tragic story. So yeah, if you hadn't checked it out, definitely Vanishing at Cecil Hotel. watch it. You'll definitely enjoy it. And hear a great story, really well told.
Awesome.
Yes. Do you know the story of Elisa Lamb?
I do not.
Oh, it's pretty sad. I'll let you watch the documentary, or I'll tell you after this episode on Darren Post show. Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
The
So
only
I heard
local
you
hall-
rough one. I heard you rough one around. What you looking at over there? What you speculating at?
Well, I
I
literally had local haul. I forgot to tell you anything about this.
Oh, okay. Let's hear
So
it. Let's hear
there
it.
was a not a flea market, but a kind of a not an antique. It's not.
No.
It's just a store, like a
junk
let's just say
shop.
flea market. Anyway,
A junk shop.
yeah, and they actually had comics finally. Like I just
Nice.
checked in. Lady's like, "Oh, I was going to call you. They're right there, comics." I was like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll look at it."
Yeah.
So I finally got. There was a story that I saw on the shelves, but just did not, because I wasn't in at the time and did not collect. I got Wolverine and one of my favorite characters, Deathlock, full run of the story.
Nice.
Wolverine Weapon X number
Nice.
11 through 15, story involving Deathlock. It looked
Nice.
awesome, and I'm going to read through that. They had a whole bunch of the Curse of the Mutants crossover,
Okay.
which was basically X-Men versus vampires.
That sounds fun.
And they had, of course, some Deadpool, of course, crossed over in that. So I got
Anything
some of
with
those.
Deadpool, definitely.
And they had Dracula in it, so I got.
Oh, you had to have Dracula.
Had to have Dracula, Marvel's Dracula.
Yes.
Even though I don't like his new look, the ponytail wielding white hair, yeah, I don't really like that much.
Yeah.
I like the classic, the cape and Dracula.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had some X-Men books, of course, part of that they had something pretty neat, and it has the Red Guardian in it. They had
Okay.
Dark Star and the Winter Guard, all 3 issues.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And
That's pretty neat.
I
I like
had
that. Those look like some cool covers.
the Winter Guard is the Russian version of the Avengers, with Ursa Major, Crimson Dynamo, Dark Star, and Red Guardian. So I'm actually gonna read that. I mean, I'm sure
awesome.
it's not acclaimed or anything like that, but
Right.
I thought it was pretty neat. So
Yeah, it'll be a fun story to look through.
And then also one more thing, you said you were going to bring up some eBay haul. I also had some eBay haul.
Right.
With the Transformers cards I've been doing, there is also 9 or 10 or 11
Right.
Transformers iron-on patches that came in the toys in like the 86, 87 line. Came in the mini bots, like when you bought Gears or Bumblebee, you'd have an iron-on that went with it.
Right.
And I actually
remember that.
noticed that a couple of those had unique Diaclone artwork that they'd used for Transformers. So I actually got a couple of those. I already had a couple, so I almost have got the set completed now. I just need one more, Omega Supreme. But yeah, I got a few of those.
That's awesome. Way to go. All right, my friend. Do you have anything else to add this week?
What was your eBay haul?
That was my eBay haul. The Doctor Strange books that I showed you.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
Unless you want to see this part where he says, "You're gone too."
Well, I mean, you said you got that off my comic shop. I thought you.
No.
I thought you had an actual eBay.
No, I got 75 is the only one I got off of my comic shop.
Gotcha.
170 and Damnation are eBay hauls.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. They were just mail hauls. They came in the mail.
What'd you just call me?
That's right. All right, my friend. Well, on social media, you can find me most active on Instagram and some Twitters at Maynard98 on both of those. Send us emails at notsosoutherngentleman@gmail.com. And
All right, Ricky Westbrook on Twitter. You can search Not So Southern Gentleman on Facebook.
On the Facebook. Yep. All right. Stay warm. I hope your power stays on. Everybody else, stay safe.
Keep your
For-
pipes warm for the
Yeah.
love of God.
Yeah, I am. Michelle was like, "Can we turn them off?" I was like, "Let's keep them running." Because like
Let's keep them
20
running. Yeah.
like 20 minutes ago, I seen somebody on Facebook on one of the groups saying, "Does anybody know the number of a plumber? I just had a pipe burst." I was like, I don't want to be that guy. All right, everybody stay safe. For Not So Southern Gentlemen, I'm Sean. He's Ricky.
Mephisto.
He's Mephisto. And Wanda's got mutants. Y'all have a good one.